The city of Thebes has been in turmoil. King Oedipus discovered that he had killed his father and married his mother, Jocasta. Driven to madness and remorse, he blinded himself, tearing out his own eyes. Jocasta killed herself. With Oedipus dead and no longer king, his two sons, Polynices and Eteocles, agreed to share the kingship. Eteocles took up the kingship first, but when it came his turn to step down, he stubbornly refused. His brother, Polynices, collected a foreign army of mercenaries and attacked the city. Thebes struck down its invaders, but in the hot forge of battle, the two brothers took each other's lives, thus ending the male line of the Labdacos family. It is, however, the female line that concerns us here. Antigone and Ismene, the sisters, were left behind. One sister swore to avenge, the other swore to obey. This is their story.
Against our land, Polynices marched, sent here by warring claims, with piercing screams an eagle flying above our land, covered wings as white as snow, and hordes of warriors, helmets topped with horsehair crests. Standing above our homes, he ranged around our 7 gates, with threats to swallow us, and spears thirsting to kill. All for a brother who would not yield what rightfully belonged to the other one. Zeus hates arrogant, boasting tongues, and seeing men march here in a mighty stream and all their clanging gold and pride. 7 captains at 7 gates, matched against 7 equal warriors, pays Zeus their full bronze tribute, but the god returns the battle tide. All but that pair of wretched men, born of one father and one mother too, who set their conquering spears against each other and then both shared a common death. And now, the victory, with her glorious name, has come, or so it would seem, bringing joy to well-armed Thebes. The battle's done. Survivors strive now to forget the songs and dancing all night long, and Bacchus joining them to make Thebes shake. But in merriment's shadow, stare the elements of a tragedy to come.
Antigone.
Oh, Ismene, my dear sister. Do you have any sense of all the trouble Zeus keeps bringing on our family? All the misery which stems from Oedipus. There was no suffering, no shame, no ruin. It comes to us. Have you heard what our general has proclaimed throughout the city? Do you know? Dishonours which befit our enemies are being piled onto us.
I've had no word at all, Antigone. I know that we are 2 sisters of 2 brothers. Robbed, killed on the one day by the other's hand. I don't know anymore if I've been lucky or if I faced total ruin.
That is why I brought you here, outside the gates, so only you could hear.
What is it, sister? You look like you carry a heavy burden.
Do you know what Creon is doing with our 2 brothers? He's honouring one with a full funeral and treating the other one like filth. Eteocles, they say, has had his burial according to the rites. He has won honour with the dead below. But Polynices, who perished miserably, is to have no funeral and no lament. He is to be left unburied and unwept for, a treasure for the birds to feed on to their heart's content. This is what the people whisper. This is what noble Creon has announced for you and me. especially to me. For Creon, this is business. Anyone who acts against the orders will be stoned to death before the city. Now you know. And now I will learn whether you are of noble birth, or a girl unworthy of her ancestors.
If all this is happening, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
Will you work with me and act together?
What do you mean?
Will you help my hands to take up Polynices and bury him?
What? Bury him when this has been made a crime for all in thieves?
Yes. I will do my duty to my brother. And yours as well, if you're too meek. I won't be caught betraying him.
I might be meek, but you're looking for trouble.
Creon has no right to keep me from what is mine.
Think, Antigone. Think of how our father died. Hated. Disgraced. He forced his hand against himself and stabbed out his own eyes when he found out what he had done. Then our mother hanged herself, leaving us behind. Then there's our two brothers. Butchered, slaughtered on the one day, sharing a common doom. Think of how we will die far worse than all the rest if we move against creon, if we move against power. Antigone, by birth we are women, and as such we shouldn't fight with men. We must obey them in this life. I will ask those underground for pardon, for I'm forced to do their will. It makes no sense to try the impossible.
I won't make you. For I see now that sharing this burden with you will not relieve it. I choose to bury him. I would love to die like that for a man I love, purely, innocently purged of all my crimes. My honors for the dead go much deeper than those for the living. Death lasts forever. The dead demand respect.
I'm not disrespecting them. Just don't ask me to do this thing. It's not like me.
Do you call that an excuse? I will leave you. I have to make a grave for my brother.
Antigone, I fear for
Don't
you.
fear for me. I have chosen my fate.
Just don't say anything to anyone. Keep this closely hidden and I will do the same.
No, no. Announce the fact. And if you don't let everybody know, I'll despise you in your silence even more.
Your heart is hot to do cold.
But I know I'll please the ones I'm duty bound to please.
How does one please the dead, sister? Be careful what you wish for.